Hello, 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 everyone. Hope your Monday is going fabulous and you had a good weekend and everything is going well. We're like halfway through the month and I'm still trying to figure out how that's happening right now. It's still kind of crazy that we are into August and like 4 months away from Christmas. Like that's trying to get my head around that one is a little much right now. Can't quite do that on that one, but it is what it is. So it's all good. It's all good. I am curious out there, how many of you, after speaking with Kaylee, went home and not only did you have Wrecking Ball stuck in your head, but maybe went and downloaded it and then went and downloaded Party in the USA? Anytime I hear that personally, my younger brother, I have instant flashbacks of us and singing at the top of our lungs. I'm not a huge Miley Cyrus fan. Nothing against her, just that's not really my genre. But that song, we would sing at like the top of our lungs in the middle of summer. So every time I hear that, I immediately think of that. So, anyways, such a good conversation with her, with that, and just much needed topics of talking with her, and not just fixed ops, but especially parts. So, my question with all of you is, what are you all doing to better support your parts department? Are you working on communication? Maybe you're doing some, hey, we're doing a lot of that, but what are you doing to better support? What are you doing more? What are you doing? Are you making sure that, hey, maybe you were using, in her terms, the 1800 tech. Maybe you were doing 1800 tools and wanting to say, hey, still do your job. Well, it's really difficult to say, well, here's your 1800 tools and tech, but try to keep up with your 2022 or 2023 and beyond. So once again, what are you doing to support the parts department? What are you doing to support the fixed ops department? All these little things add up. So I loved how she talked on that. And she's, like I said, if you don't know, haven't had a chance to speak with her, as always, her information's in the notes. Reach out to her. The Parts Edge is a great tool, and yet another business partner with which to partner, and can do so much good for your parts department and your store and all around, just everything to make it to the next step and make it to your goal. So Kaylee, thank you so much for being on the show. I so appreciate everything that you brought to the table, and what you all are doing is awesome. So thank you so much for that. One of the things we talked on and touched on, not just us, but I hear cross training all the time. I feel like it's becoming the new, almost like the new buzzword, if you will. It's just like you're hearing it all the time. And so I started thinking, like, okay, what is cross training? Like, you hear it all the time, like, oh, you should be cross training. That's like, what the hell is it? Like, people talk about it all the time, but like, what is it? So the kind of actionable items here. So I go back to, it was about 12 years ago. I'm working for a CRM company as a consultant. Nowadays, you would call it like a customer success representative or professional, or insert whatever. There's all these different terminologies for it. But at the time, we were called consultants. It was like strategic service consultant or something like that. Anyways, I remember on the onboarding stages of it, we were on site at the facilities, and we just thought we were just going through the normal. At no point did they say this anywhere that we're going to do this. And they took us on site and they said, all right, we're going to dump you in the queue of the customer support, and you'll have to answer for a couple hours. You have to take phone calls. And to this day, I'm still, anytime I hear that ringtone of the customer support phones, I literally, like, my heart starts racing. I get like heart palpitations. I freak out. Like, it was so, in a good way, traumatizing. But I'll get to the other part of it. Like, I still freak out when I hear those phone calls. But let's go back here. So they dump us in the queue, and it was scary as hell. Like, because we had no training, we really didn't know a whole lot. We knew the basics of the tool, and like, hey, if you can answer 1, 2, and 3, just kick it over to someone. And I saw my other colleagues, and we're supposed to be logged in, and they like pretend to log in, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, bullshit, you're not talking to anybody. Like, I'm here sweating bullets, and you're over there like having a latte, pretending to be logged in. But I felt like we took the phone calls, and it was such a great experience, because not only did I automatically, like, I already had a good, respected the customer support line, whatever, but I automatically was like, your job is so difficult, and you just get yelled at nonstop. Like, people are pissed off at you. Like, they're not calling to say, you're doing a great job, support. You're doing a great job. Good job. We want to just thank you for how awesome you're doing. No, they're not calling to tell you how awesome you are. They're calling because they're pissed off. They're unhappy. Something's not working. So you automatically get a brand new brand new, newfound respect for customer support. So that's number one. Number two, you respect what they do. For them to stay cool and calm under pressure and to know their shit, man, they knew what they were doing. They could, will go here to get their stuff done. Like they knew what was going on. And then thirdly, you instantly have that friendship because then the support knows, wait a second, this hotshot consultant is actually doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's not pretending to be logged in. She's taking calls. She's sitting it over. The head of support knew that, hey, Brooke's actually taking calls, or Billy Bob over here, or John Smith, or whomever else is doing this. And I happened to be, when I came into the company, I think there was a consultant wise, I think I was like one. I don't know if there was another girl, a female on the staff. I think I may have been the only one, maybe one other. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I don't know what I had for breakfast, but there weren't a lot of the females on the consulting team. So just once again, it speaks volumes. And then when I fast forward that a little bit more, instant camaraderie. So support knew they could count on me. I could count on them. And moving forward, anytime that my dealerships had an issue, I could, if something wasn't getting done or I needed help or assistance along the way, I could call them directly. And they knew, hey, Brooke, we're having an issue with, or something, a hiccup with one of your stores. Can you help out a little bit? No problem. So there was an instant, hey, we can team with that communication back and forth. So taking this in the dealership, same thing. Hey, I'm not saying, and I think I said before, not that, you're going to take someone from finance and be like, hey, go fix an engine. No, they're not going to go fix an engine. But cross train them. Let them shadow someone for an hour. Understand what's going on there. Thank you, Jeff. Jake, thank you. Is that let them know what's going on. Let them see, hey, this is what a BDC goes like. I don't think very many people understand what the BDC team goes through on a daily basis, that they've got to know X, Y, and Z. So let someone in service understand what it's like for the BDC to take calls every single day. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, it's exactly, exactly what Greg knows. It was actually dealer socket. Greg knows exactly what I'm talking about here, is that we had to do this, Greg. And Greg, I don't know if you had to do this as well on the sales side, if you had to go and work with the support team, but I have such respect for the fact that back in 2010, this is what they were doing, is that we had to go through and do this. And it was so big that we went through and did this. So going back to this is that whether it's service, whether it's sales, whether it's finance, have each parts, take a moment and cross train them. Anytime I go in and train in stores, or when I used to go back and train in stores, I say, hey, I want all departments. This shouldn't just be one department. Let everybody know what's going on. And yeah, so Greg is saying as well, as we shadow consultants for installs. And I saw this as well. The same support, going back to support, when I was in the support team and I would shadow them, we actually had one of our the support manager came out on an install with us. And Greg was like Greg was top sales and everything. And he actually came out, he went on installs. So I can tell you that the support came out with us as well. So having those cross training is invaluable. I cannot stress enough, is to cross train your employees. It's so important. So yes, so I'm going to take this a little bit step further and put a bit of levity on this, on all of this. So if you take this a step further here, there's all different types of shoes, as we all know, and we all know I'm a bit of a sneakerhead here. So you've got running shoes, you've got basketball shoes, you have golf shoes, you have cross trainers. Then you have Trunners, and you're probably saying, Brooke, what the hell's a Trunner? Don't worry, friends. I'm going to get there. You hold on. So when it comes to shoes, and they've got specific functions. So when you have a running shoe, for instance, and a cross trainer, there's a really big difference on those two types of shoes. And you better damn well know the difference in how you use them. So running shoe is made for straight ahead movement. So you don't want to go side to side, because what's going to happen if you go side to side movement, you're going to tear out the side of the shoe. And if you're Brooke, you're going to tear your body parts. So don't want to use a running shoe for side to side movement, versus a cross trainer is made for side to side movement. You can take it, if you took a cross trainer onto a volleyball court, you'd go side to side and be fine. Unless you're Brooke, then you'd still find a way to tear something. Or onto pickleball is really big, so same thing. So things like that. So in 2000, Jordan Brand comes out with their their first Trunner. So if you're watching online, I'm now throwing up and pull back here. This is the first Jordan Trunner, and they've been sitting on my lap, and man, they're very pungent, in case you're all wondering. So this is the first Jordan Trunner in the Neptune blue. So I was like, yeah, I remember wearing this for the first time. There you go, everyone. Jordan Trunners from 2000. Yes, so those are 22 years old. And I remember getting them like, man, these are so light. They're fantastic. They're awesome. They're so cool. I could run to Neptune in these things and loved them. Now, the Trunner is supposed to be being the key word there, a mix between the runner, a running shoe, and a training shoe, supposed to be. And then 2001, the new Trunner came out and released, and it's the Trunner Bubble. And I was so excited for it. Got it. Woohoo, excited. And I am in a pickup game of basketball and super stoked. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to bust these out because they'll be okay. And I had this wicked crossover that would have made Allen Iverson jealous. And I like did this reverse layup that I practiced a million times in my driveway and in the gym and nail it. And I was so excited. And I came down and I just hear this massive pop, ankle gone. And I happened to be in a church at the time when this happened. And all I could think is, Brooke, and anyone that knows me, I have a bit of a sailor's mouth, and I just like, control your language, because if you start swearing, you're going to get struck down by somebody. So I control my language, and I obviously get helped off, and ankle's gone, whatever. So going back to this is that if I thought this was a cross trainer, and if I would have been fine, but it wasn't. And obviously those shoes were never used again because they were cursed and whatever. But all of these different shoes have different purposes. The cross trainer it's made for just about everything. It's, like I said, it's just about anything. But when you need those fine-tuned skills, you want to bust out the running shoe for specifically running. You want to, and then even get more specific. Okay, if I'm going to do pole vaulting, there are actual pole vaulting shoes. Or if I want to go to soccer, you want your soccer cleats. I want to do full up basketball. Okay, I'm going to do basketball shoes. So where am I getting to this? I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this at this point. So we need to, at this point, with our employees, cross-train them. We have these to make them more versatile and adaptable, cross-train them to all different areas, whether that's service, whether that's parts, whether that's BDC, finance, sales, every area. And even if it's on the consulting side, same thing. Because to this day, that experience 12 years ago has stuck with me. When I hear that phone, that specific phone ringtone, I still get like PTSD. I freak out when I hear that stupid phone because it's so stuck in me. But I know that with my employees, I do the exact same thing. That I don't care what department you all are going to talk to each other. So you're going to cross train, you're going to cross communicate. So be versatile and adaptable. So whether it's the cross trainers, whether it's the whatever, but when those fine motor skills are needed, that is when you're going to bust out those really specific shoes. So in all areas of business, make sure those fine-tuned skills are there for expertise. So cross train, cross communicate, never stop talking, never stop learning. And maybe not most importantly, please don't wear running shoes when you're playing basketball, because you're gonna break something. So with that, everyone, we're going to close out. But before we close out, this Friday, I'm going to have on the show my good friend, Gregory Cooper. Gregory and Cooper and I go back really far. We've known each other since 2010, so I'm super, super excited. He has an incredible company, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise right now. Just know that there's technology out there that I have said for, I can't tell you how long. Man, if someone could just come up with this technology, man, man, someone needs to come up with this technology. And even last 2 years ago, I was talking to someone, and I go, hey, so are you saying you can do X, Y, and Z? And he goes, well, no, not quite that. I go, why can't someone come up with this technology? Please, can someone come up with this technology? So I'm not going to spoil the surprise on what it is. I'm just going to keep teasing this, because you've got to be on the show on Friday. It's Gregory Cooper, and I'm just going to keep dropping his name. You can go Google him, because you're going to see what he does. But I'm just going to tell you, you've got to tune on Friday. Friday noon, he's going to be there, and we're going to talk about this incredible technology that his company has, that's just going to make your life a hell of a lot easier, going to make everybody at your dealership be like, thank you for purchasing this technology. So with that, everyone, thank you for everything. I appreciate you. I know you all have a choice to tune in wherever you want to tune in. I super appreciate it. And as you know, I'm always going to sign off this way, is find someone to serve today. Find a way to serve your fellow human being. Find a way to help your neighbor, whatever it is. I just find a way to help someone. And with that, everyone, thank you. And we will see everyone on Friday with Gregory Cooper. All right, everyone, have a good one. All right, bye.